Chapter 32. Oscar owes her a Best Actress award. Ava pressed her lips in a slight smile. Her facial expression showed no change whatsoever. She looked over the girl Derek was holding in his arms, young and delicate, looking not even 20. Ava lightly tapped her chin with her finger and slowly spoke. Derek, after all these years, your character hasn't changed one bit. Does humiliating girls give you a great sense of achievement? Such a beautiful, fresh girl is with you. It's not because of money, so is it because of your arrogant, stupid, and conceited nature? Or because of your plate-sized face? You should be grateful you have money, something people can take advantage of. Derek's expression froze. His face turned cold inch by inch, while the girl he was holding looked at Ava with flickering eyes. And you? Ava turned her gaze to Marcus. She smiled with pressed lips. Leaving your wife at home while bringing your mistress to a dinner party? How do you have the face to talk about me? When you're living off someone else, please have the attitude of someone living off others. Otherwise, if I'm unhappy one day, I'll tell your wife about all your affairs, and you'll be kicked out. Ava picked up her water glass and took a small sip. Both of you, talk big only when you have the ability to back it up. When you don't have ability, remember to control your mouths. Marcus and Derek's faces were equally terrible. Ava, don't speak so harshly, Marcus said through gritted teeth. Ava acted as if she hadn't heard, picking up some vegetables with her chopsticks toward people who didn't like her. She was never polite, especially toward people who wanted to stand up for grace in front of her. What's wrong? Adrian's voice broke the silent atmosphere in the private room. Just as Marcus and Derek were about to speak, Ava had already stood up first and linked arms with Adrian. She looked up at him, tears glistening, a pitiful appearance as if she'd been badly bullied. Adrian, these two seem to not like me very much. I shouldn't stay here and affect your dinner. I'll wait for you in the parking garage. The underground garage being stuffy doesn't matter. Me being hungry doesn't matter. I just hope these two won't lose their appetite because of me. That would be a great sin. The girl sobbed quietly. This submissive, accommodating appearance left the other four people stunned. Derek was so angry his head was flushed. He withdrew the arm that was around the girl beside him. Just as he was about to argue, Ava spoke again. I know Derek didn't mean to call me a gold digger. I won't take it to heart because every penny I have was earned through my own efforts. The living expenses she conned from her mother were also obtained through her own skills. Derek. Demma, Ava cried like pear blossoms in the rain. Marcus said that even before I went abroad, you and sister had already fallen in love with each other. My going abroad just helped you two be together. I'm so sorry, Adrian. I didn't know you liked sister so early. If I had known, I would have definitely gone abroad early to help you two be together. Marcus. When did he ever say such nonsense? Back then, Adrian treated Ava like the apple of his eye. Even if everyone in the world cheated, Adrian wouldn't. She was really skilled at lying, tears falling on command. Oscar owed her a Best Actress award. When they received Adrian's cold glares, no matter how angry the two men were, they could only take the blame. After dinner ended, Derek and Marcus left with their female companions, looking terrible. Naturally, the business deal fell through because Adrian was drunk. Adrian, I'm going home to sleep tonight, so I won't go back with you. Ava struggled to help the drunk Adrian out of the restaurant door. Derek and Marcus were really inhuman. When the deal fell through, they just left him to her alone. Adrian was so tall, with solid muscles, heavy as hell. When she helped him out, Old Lou had already opened the car door. Originally, Old Lou wanted to take over, but when he reached out, Adrian dodged, so he just held the car door and stood aside. When getting Adrian into the car, because he was pulling her hem, she lost her balance and her upper body fell onto Adrian's legs. Sit properly. On the way helping him out, Ava had already used up a wave of patience. Now he was still pulling her clothes, and her tone was no longer as good as before. Suddenly, her waist tightened. Ava stared in shock. She was actually pulled bodily into the car. Adrian, I said I'm going home. Didn't you hear me? Going home? The man's hands passed through both sides of her body, lifting her up so she sat on his lap, the large hands around her waist holding very tight. Ava struggled several times, to no avail. Miss Hart, should I drive? The driver in the front seat saw the scene in the back seat. He silently raised the partition. He asked tentatively, because he had just heard Ava say she wasn't going to the villa on Rosewater Lane today. After she pried away the large hands around her waist, they came back again. Ava closed her eyes. Drive. As soon as she spoke, the man's face leaned over, resting against her shoulder. Breath mixed with alcohol sprayed on her chin. Ava turned her head aside. After the car had driven some distance, the hand covering her waist began to misbehave. Ava frowned and pressed down Adrian's hand. "Don't move around." The girl's soft voice was somewhat cold and hard now, carrying an unusual seriousness. The hand on her waist gradually stopped moving. After a few seconds, warm lips pressed against her collarbone, the hot breath making Ava feel itchy. She dodged backward, but she couldn't escape. Adrian bent down and pressed over, their lips meeting. "Ava, why are you so late? I thought you weren't coming." At 1 a.m., Ava finally sat down in the booth. Seeing her arrive, Lena immediately moved over to make space. "Got held up by something." Ava concealed the unnaturalness in her eyes, smiling as she said she'd drink 3 glasses as punishment for being late. "We just got here not long ago. No need." Zeke Joe moved the alcohol away from in front of Ava. The others agreed. Autumn whispered in her ear, "We arrived at 10. Zeke's just got here was 3 hours ago." Ava raised an eyebrow slightly. Zeke Joe, sitting beside her, had already poured her half a glass of low-alcohol drink. She looked in the direction Autumn had indicated. She saw the girl sitting beside Ryan. That face surprised Ava, because she knew her. She had met her the first year she went abroad to study. Mandy Cooper was 2 years older than her and had returned to the country in her 3rd year abroad. Mandy Cooper was an academically excellent, well-behaved, and introverted girl. She was the complete opposite of Ryan, an idle second-generation heir. She hadn't expected these two to be engaged. "Mandy, long time no see." Ava turned sideways to greet Mandy Cooper, who was sitting on the outside. Mandy had been lost in thought. She hadn't noticed Ava. Until Ava called her, she was very surprised. They hadn't seen each other for 4 years.